Thank you for joining me today on Paint a Beautiful Picture. Today is episode number 140. The topic of today's discussion is teaching your child that you are enough. I do have a challenge question for you today. Are you enough? In a minute, you'll understand that question better. I want you to leave yourself some room on this page because I kid you not, over the next few weeks, I want you to answer this again and again. I cannot tell you how many times I have talked to someone in a counseling situation and they say to me, well, if I were only prettier, my husband would stay with me and he wouldn't mess around. If I were only making more money, my wife would respect me more. If I were only, and what they're saying is, I'm not enough. I'm not enough of a man to make a good income. I'm not enough of a woman to keep my husband at home. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not hardworking enough. I'm not talented enough. I'm not enough. I'm not enough. I'm not enough. I hear it all the time. I also hear it from children. Miss Newbie, I can't do that because I'm not smart enough. Miss Newbie, I can't do that because I don't have a good family. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough of this. I don't have enough of that. Sometimes it is external things, but very often the root of it is in themselves. I am not enough. Our world certainly fosters this message. I mean, come on, let's be real. We look at all these airbrush chickies, not only on the covers of magazines, but on commercials and on billboards, all over the place, everywhere we go. We're confronted by these insane images of people that most of us don't look like. We don't have perfect skin. We don't have a perfect body. We don't have a 38 double D chest and a 26-inch waistline, which incidentally is extremely unrealistic and not even very healthy for your back. But we'll throw all that out and just say that isn't what most of us look like, but it's the ideal most of us are pushed to. What a tragedy. Let me tell you something, though. Read interviews where these people are being spoken to and they're willing to be candid, and they'll tell you, well, I'm not really all that pretty. My nose is too big. My butt's too big. My lips are too small. Even they do not feel good about themselves. Okay, so check out yesterday's episode about 139 and learning how to be secure. I mean, the richest, prettiest people often aren't very secure. They don't even feel like what they have is enough. This long-standing, hugely ominous viewpoint about life of I am not enough is everywhere. All kinds of people are fighting against this message. Guys, oh my word, guys, do I ever feel for you? In today's world, it is so horrible because there are so many messages that are anti-male. I was talking to a young man and he said, I had a really hard time finding a decent Father's Day card because all of them were like a sideways jab. Of course, Dad, you can be in charge today because it's Father's Day, but tomorrow it's going to go back to normal and Mom's going to run the world. That's not funny. That's an insult. Guys, you're not enough. You're not smart enough to run your own life. You're not smart enough to manage your own family. You aren't capable enough of dealing with your responsibilities. What a lousy, junky, horrible, terrible, bad message that we are giving to boys, young men, and grown men. So let me say to you right this minute, Dad, I'm really sorry the world puts out those kind of foolish, ridiculous, insulting messages. I'm not responsible for everyone else, but I really believe that you are fully capable of being a decent man, a good provider, a great father, a super good husband, and if you aren't yet, you can learn, and I would be thrilled to help you out. I'm not joking about this. I really mean it. It ticks me off. Dad, you are enough, and you can certainly teach your sons and even your daughters that they are enough. We human beings, we have failings. We have faults. We make mistakes. We make gigantic messes. We do. This is the truth. It's not a joke. We are far, far, far from perfect. I'm not telling you something that you do not know. But honestly, in spite of all of our flaws and our problems and sometimes our outright stupidity, we are in fact amazing creatures. We have done great things. And we need to keep that in our minds, that we, just as we are enough. We don't need to compare ourselves to somebody down the road and go, their house is $300,000 more than ours and 2,000 square feet bigger, and they drive a nicer car. Big deal. You're not them. You, in and of yourself, you are enough. Now, let me tell you something. It may be raw material. You may need to take some time to develop it. I mean, let's face facts. You might need to put on a little makeup because you might look more attractive. You might need to emphasize your best feature as a woman, and you might need to learn how to dress appropriately so that you are, in fact, attractive. You might have gained 40 or 50 extra pounds with your baby that you need to lose so that, you are more inviting to your husband. But exactly how you are right this minute, you are enough. Guys, you might need to get a certification in something so you can get a promotion at your job. You might actually need to change your job because you do not have enough money at this minute to provide for your family the way that you would like to. You might need to go to work out at the gym because you've put on 50 pounds just hanging around instead of really doing anything meaningful with your body, and it's affecting your health, and you want to be around for your family long term. All of us have things to work on. That's okay. Don't get freaked out about that. But at this moment in time, you are enough. Whatever you do that improves on that or makes the raw material that you have better, it was still the raw material that you had, and it was enough. I just really can't emphasize this to you enough, because if you don't believe that you are pretty enough, you are smart enough, you are hardworking enough, you are enough, you will never be able to give this message to your child. And do you know what? Your child is. Your child might be a monster. You might have even raised them to be that. And I acknowledge that to you. I've seen some of those in counseling. I really have. And that child is the one who needs to hear it the most. You are capable enough to behave correctly. You are smart enough to follow instructions when I'm going to teach you how to do this differently. Because I've let you get away with this so far. I'm not going to let you continue to do this. You are smart enough to catch on to and cooperate with this new set of rules in our household. Oh, you are enough. I am telling you, that is revolutionary in some people's households. I've seen it happen. You need to learn how to look at your own self in the mirror. I mean, like this, and say, you are pretty enough. You are smart enough. You are strong enough. You are capable enough. You are capable of change. You are smart enough to work this out. You are smart enough to ask for help. You are strong enough to lead your family. You are strong enough to help your children make significant changes. You are strong enough to make those changes your own self. You are enough. Do you understand me? Because those messages of you are not enough, all they do is downgrade us and make us doubt ourselves and cause us to wonder what God was doing when he made us like this. If I could tell you how many years of my life I had that fight with God, that I heard about a good God, and I heard about a kind God, and I heard about a God that really was interested in me. And I was like, so why'd you make me like this then? Because I think you made some mistakes. Until I really learned self-acceptance and to know that I actually was enough, my whole view of God was really twisted around. It wasn't that God had a problem. It was that I did. And it wasn't that the people around me had problems, though Lord knows they did, but it was that my viewpoint of so many things was skewed and I could not see straight. You don't want to walk through life, your whole life, like that. You are smart enough and capable enough, competent enough to get some help to change how you're seeing it if you're sure that maybe you're not seeing it right. I want you to understand you actually are enough and you have enough, but you have to get your head and your heart wrapped around that reality, and then you have to pass it on to your kids. I think this is one of my favorite ones. Really, I mean this with all my heart. Because to see someone over, I'm going to say a 2 to 5 year time period, because I've mentored some people pretty long term in my lifetime, to go from they're not good enough, They're not smart enough. They're not pretty enough. They aren't capable enough. They're not handsome enough. They're not enough. Plain old not enough of anything, basically. Not a good enough parent, for sure. Not a good enough mate, for sure. They don't make enough money, for sure. They don't handle things well, for sure. All the way to, I am attractive enough. I am smart enough. I am capable enough. I am competent enough. I am able to handle my own life, sometimes with help, but I can do it. It's an amazing transformation. If you can help your child already understand, and it might take them till they're 12 to 14 to really get this, even in your house day after day hearing it, but that you really are enough. It's amazing what that young person is going to be able to do in their life, and they don't have all this other junk to try to overcome. I'm not saying they will never have a self-doubt. Don't misunderstand me. It's very likely that they will about something. But if they have a deep-seated sense, I am enough, in their heart and in their life, it will make a radical difference in the human being they will be, in the contributions they will make to the lives of others, and in their ability to find their place in the world. It's a really exciting thing to be a part of. Today, I want you to know you are enough. It's been great having you with me today on Paint a Beautiful Picture. You may find additional information on our paintabeautifulpicture.com website. Additionally, you may watch me on Rumble, and you may also listen to a podcast on Buzzsprout or Spreaker, all under the name Paint a Beautiful Picture. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. You may subscribe, and if you are interested in receiving notifications, please hit the notifications button.